Hi, welcome back to Hitter Glitch's GM Corner. I'm Daniel.
I'm Scott.
I'm Alexander.
I'm Tim.
This week, our topic from the Tumblr Topics is Bartle's Taxonomy. Where does each member lie? Are we killers, achievers, explorers, or socializers?
For the Bartle's taxonomy, it was originally devised to look at players in like original role-playing games, being online ones being MUDs. So this is text-based kind of games. So it has lost some of its usefulness coming forward, but basically it's talking about how you act upon or interact with the world or other players. And so that's kind of the sliders for this. And to be fair, no one's going to be all one thing or all something else.
Yeah.
So now,
in different situations,
are you asking what we tend to play, or what we
you
think,
identify as,
or what we think each class tends to be?
No, I'm talking about for us as players.
Yeah. Where you get your most enjoyment, basically.
So for me, I'm predominantly an explorer. Whether that be exploring mechanics, whether that be exploring the environment. So I'm less socially inclined, which actually makes the current season a little difficult for me. But I like to come up with weird or different builds. Yes, I really like the one that's, perfectly set up or whatever to be the best at whatever it does. But I also like exploring weird ideas with things as well. That's something I get a lot of enjoyment out of. And I also like, we're in a situation where in this room doing this thing, and I'm like, okay, well, what's in the fridge? Or what's in the box? Or
What's in the box?
Yes,
I just always have to throw the Seven reference out there.
Yeah. That's something that I really enjoy, is just seeing what's out there. And when I've played online games, I do that a lot too.
And see, I would think of you as the achiever, because you're always trying. Every build you do has got a specific thing you want to achieve, a specific type of thing that you want to do better than everyone else. And so I see you more as that. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with the explorer, but just in my experience with you, I almost see you as the explorer secondary and the achiever primary.
And that's fair. I mean, like in this situation, when you've been around me, that may be something that comes out more, because I do have elements of that as well.
You're definitely the achievement hunter.
Yeah, I played World of Warcraft for a while, and I began with just liking to see anything and everything I could, but then after a while, I was trying to get my EP bigger.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get all the achievements and all the mounts and all the pets and whatever the crap else. So I definitely have elements of both.
For me, I find myself, if I'm to view myself, and you guys may see me differently, I see myself probably right on the line between explorer and socializer. For me, I like to explore the role playing. I like to socialize with the NPCs, with the other characters. I like that storytelling aspect, so that's where I see myself. And that's why I typically play. I think if you look at most of my characters, intelligence and charisma are probably the two that you'll never see me use as a dump stat.
Yeah.
Except for Siku.
Except for Siku.
Yep.
Siku was an exercise in
But I
going
wouldn't-
out of my comfort zone.
And I also wouldn't necessarily say that he wasn't socialized, like he wasn't adept at the socializing, but he definitely had character.
Yeah.
He definitely tried the socialization.
He had a different type of socializing.
He was an experiment in me and going the pretty much polar opposite of what I normally do.
And I really enjoyed GMing for that, having the situation of the Frankenstein's monster that eventually, with a heart of gold kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there were some some of the roleplay aspects were similar to my other characters, but the mechanics, where he was this big brute,
Yeah.
and
Very different, yeah.
And that goes back to the explorer. I was wanting to try something new, explore a new option.
I think I would have to put myself social and explore, I think.
So basically in the same boat there for Scott, somewhere in between those.
Yeah, but I look, I'm coming at it from a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
The reason I say social is because that is one of the primary reasons why I game. It's not necessarily my play style, although you guys can probably attest, I do love the political intrigue. I do.
I was going to say, Otto.
I always
go back to Siku.
We've mentioned the Storm King's Thunder in other videos, the game that we were playing. I was playing a Goliath fighter, and I still ended up being the leader.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the Goliath.
Who's going to push you around?
Exactly. The Goliath like structure of how they do things is the biggest and the strongest leads.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some of that, but well, here's another example. I was playing in a Vampire the Masquerade game. I was playing a Nosferatu. This Nosferatu eventually rose to be the prince of the city.
Yep.
That is a role not usually taken by a Nosferatu.
Yeah, I will say that you don't tend to be the social player, but you do in the sense of the political intrigue and the political maneuvering.
Yeah, you're more the achiever.
You know, but I definitely feel where you're coming from about why you play, why you game.
Yeah.
And that's why I tend towards role-playing games and physical board games rather than online computer games, because I like the social interaction of the people being around you, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why I fall on the environment side of things. Like,
because you don't want to.
I'm an introvert on a lot of levels. I mean, I can be extroverted, but it's tiring for me.
Yeah.
I get recharged by being alone.
Yeah.
And like I get recharged by sitting there and doing difficult mental stuff for a couple hours on end. Like I can literally sit there from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep reading a book and not get tired.
Yeah. And my explorer side is definitely geared toward mechanics. I love thinking of new things or new uses of things. I'm currently playing around with an idea that builds the players, the world, and helps train new GMs all at once. And there may be an under the hood in that sometime in the future for the website. Maybe not. I don't know. I have yet to play test it. And generally, I like to play test something before I put it up.
Though I can say that I am super excited about this. He and I have talked a lot since he started thinking about it.
Yeah.
And do you mind if I tell him how it started with the backgrounds?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a little.
I mean,
It's a little
before
off
it got
topic,
to
but-
this, a little off topic, but it was talking about, but a little not off topic. It was talking about starting characters at basically level 0, where they don't have a class. It's just race and background, and how you role play that out, which goes into, are you going to end up a killer? You know, how you're role playing.
Well, yeah.
You know, and that's where it started, was just the idea to play that background.
Yeah, and everyone has like four of these characters.
Since
The assumption is they're going to be
probably
dying.
die.
Which one of your 4 characters actually makes it through their first dungeon?
Yeah. So yeah, but Tim.
IDK. I know for certain I'm not a killer. I just, unless you count killing characters, unless you count
count
self-killing.
suicides.
Yes, but I don't think, though you may be good at it, I don't think you necessarily enjoy that.
No.
And that's not why you play.
Well, dude, I'm kind of getting to the point where I do enjoy it. It's happened so many times. It's like, how's this character going to die? How is this one going to die? Let's find out.
You know, after you do something so many times in a row, it does become habitual.
Yeah, but yeah, it's for right now. I know I'm not a killer. I'm definitely an introvert. I'm like Alex. I can be an extrovert at times. But ask anybody I've met or any of my teachers, eventually it's just I go and hide somewhere. Which most of the time that is headphones on, watching a movie or listening to music while reading something. So I'm not much of a socializer either.
I enjoy people being around, just so long as I don't have to interact with them too much.
Yeah.
Like, I like the presence of somebody else in the room or in the house. You know, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can look at each other and be like, yes, I acknowledge your presence. Fantastic. Okay, that's enough for today.
We are pretty much describing our family with that statement.
We've literally had times at home, all four of us in the house, where all four of us are sitting on different, like, chairs or couches in the living room reading a book for, like, 2 or 3 hours straight. And there's hardly been a word said.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, it's so good to have family time together.
Yes. Yes. That's always great. But I guess achiever. I don't think I'm much of an achiever either. I don't go for I'm trying to get this awesome thing or I'm trying to do this awesome thing. It's more of, hey, this looks interesting. I will do it for a while. I'm definitely a casual gamer. I do it for this is a awesome idea and I like the story behind it, so in that way I'm an explorer.
Okay.
Where do you fall? Let us know in the comments, and if you have any suggestions on topics that we can cover, comment those as well. We will put them in the tome of topics.
There's a couple other taxonomies out there that I've seen recently. Maybe that'll be a future topic.
Yes.
Like, which character of Friends are you?
Oh gosh.
Which character of Friends are you?
We'll see you next time.
Bye.